Beastars fucking sucks. And I already know what you're thinking. You're only saying that because you don't like furries, and yes, you're right, I don't, but that's not why it sucks. It sucks because it's a bad fucking show. And before you go off thinking that I am biased or my opinion is unjustified, I've watched 2 seasons of this show, and I'm going to watch the 3rd. Why? Because I'm genuinely interested in where the plot is going and how the series will end. But not because the series is good, no, not even close. It's because I'm a mindless idiot and I'm easily entertained by garbage. The show isn't boring, it's just bad. After I finished watching both seasons, I realized that this show was pretty fucking shit. Now before I go any further, I do actually recommend this anime to pretty much anyone. It's a short watch and it'll give you context for the video. It's not boring, so I'd say if you have nothing else to do or nothing else to watch, then you might as well just pick it up and see what it's about. But if you're too lazy or you just have no interest in watching animals do anything, then I'll give you the basic rundown. And I'll be avoiding as many spoilers as possible, but of course I have to mention some aspects or this video just wouldn't make any sense. But with all that said, this is gonna be a long one, so you might want to get a snack. Beastars. It's an anime about anthropomorphic animals who live in a human-like society, apart from, you know, there's no humans. There's pretty much every animal from the entire animal kingdom. They have chickens, squirrels, whatever you can think of. And they're split up into 2 different groups, carnivores and herbivores, or those who eat meat and those who don't. And for those who noticed, yes, that would cause a problem considering biologically carnivores eat herbivores, but in the society of Beastars that's obviously not allowed for the sake of peace. This causes the herbivores to feel intimidated around the carnivores, and the carnivores to feel disrespected and vilified. It's a play on prey and predator. It's kind of like a form of racism, and the way people act and how it can affect others, and how the biology of wanting to eat each other's classmates can affect the overall behavior of the students growing up in a world where they have to suppress their urges. It's like Zootopia with more violence, more killing, and much more realism. It's an amazing concept on paper, and if I hadn't seen this show, I'd probably say this is one of the best concepts I've ever heard. If someone explained it to me like this, I'd most definitely be convinced to watch it. But now you're probably thinking, how can they fuck up such an interesting story concept? Well, I'll tell you how. The plot of the anime is actually fairly simple. The main storyline takes place in a boarding school, which is a fancy way of saying high schoolers in dorm rooms. It's mixed with carnivores and herbivores, and it all starts when an alpaca student, Tem, gets attacked and eaten in the opening scene, which creates a mystery of who did it. Which is once again another amazing concept, which was genuinely interesting as the effect it has on the students, teachers, and society as a whole was actually really enjoyable to watch. Knowing that it was one of the students that did it and we as an audience had to find out who it was actually kind of fun. It gave us as viewers a reason to stay engaged and interested in the show. Yeah, well, that didn't last long. Nothing that goes on from episode 2 and onwards has anything to do with the murder mystery, and oh yeah, they'll love to see a bunny with his titties out. Let's show them some bunny boobies. And it upsets me because this show could have actually been so good, yet they dropped the ball so hard. In the middle of this shit, I was genuinely sitting down thinking,
what happened to the original plot of the movie?
Boruto is the master of clickbait, yes, but I feel like Beastars gets a 2nd place, no doubt. I went from watching a murder mystery to a teen romance in 3 episodes. They were so uncommitted to stick to the main theme of the show that they made an episode about the main character eating an egg sandwich, and the plot twist was that his classmate was the one laying the eggs. Like, what does that have to do with a murder mystery. How is any of this progressing the plot? Occasionally they'll mention Tem, but throughout the entirety of season 1, nobody seems to give a shit. Yes, everyone's trying to move on with their lives, but I think you're forgetting there's a literal killer walking around the school. And you could make an argument for the fear from herbivores to carnivores was increased after Tem's death, but honestly, I seriously doubt that there wasn't a high level of fear in the first place. Which brings me to my next point, the main character. This goofball sack of a main character is called Legoshi, who is supposed to be that chill, relaxed guy who's cool, yet everyone's scared of him. And for the most part, he is. He's simply just a guy who wants nothing more than just to mind his own business. However, he was friends with Tim, which means he feels the need to at least help out in the murder mystery case. But in the process of trying to help out, he ended up doing this. And then I thought to myself, holy shit, this show is going to be a fucking masterpiece. Carnivores all around the school slowly going insane and struggling to keep their balance between sanity and hunger, all because of the death of Tem, mixed with the murder mystery aspect. Yeah, well, I was wrong. Oh no, it's that girl that I tried to fucking kill last night. Oh, awkward. And now we get to watch 10 episodes of this fucking dog shooting his shot with a bunny rabbit, instead of, you know, trying to find who killed your friend. And whilst I'm here, I'm gonna go off script a little bit, but you would think that after a death of a student, there would be a lot more security outside the school, especially at night. Mainly to prevent shit like this from happening. Oh no kids, it's fine. Run out at the dark of night, it's all fine. Oh, make sure you don't get fucking killed. But oh well, I mean, Legoshi isn't terrible. Actually, he's one of the better parts of the show, to be honest. His dynamic is genuinely enjoyable and he's not even close to being a bad main character. But there is one aspect of his character which makes him fucking insufferable at times.
Let me get inside.
Think about it. This bitch. And here come y'all in the comments. Berlizzi, you can't call a bitch. That's not right. Man, fuck!
Haru is quite literally the driest and the most boring character in the entire fucking show. Her existence does nothing for the audience, and she is quite literally the worst side character in all of anime, and I mean that 100%. I'm pretty sure I could find a nameless marine from One Piece with more personality than Haru. This one nameless ninja has more facial expressions than Haru has in her entire show. But I'm gonna go off script on a side note. Why the fuck do her eyes look like that? Nobody else in this show looks like this. It's fucking weird and creepy. Why the fuck does she have actual rabbit eyes? It's disturbing. Fix that shit. Not only is she fucking ugly, but she's also a dog shit character. Whenever Haru is on screen, I feel like ripping my fucking eyes out. I cannot express how shit she is. How on God's earth is she a fan favorite? She is literally a whore. She was ready to take Legoshi's wolfcock 10 minutes after meeting him in the schoolyard. How is any of this compelling? And for those of you who don't watch the show and you don't know her backstory, I'll explain it to you. When she was young, people treated her like she was weak because she was small and fragile, and it was only during sex where people treated her like an adult. Newsflash, I don't fucking care. Boo-hoo, cry me a river. I don't care about a bunny who has height insecurities. I want to know who killed Tem. Yet we are focused on this. You're probably wondering why I'm getting so mad over a fictional bunny rabbit, but I truly believe that Haru is the reason why Beastars is so bad. And at this point in time, it's not even my belief anymore. I know this for a fact, because in season 2, where Haru was completely cast aside, the show actually wasn't that bad. I'd go as far as to say that the show was actually good. Not only did it focus on important things, but it was actually entertaining. It even got me to laugh laugh sometimes, which is quite an impressive feat because I am a soulless man.
Boss is an 18-year-old male, and it's certainly not my place to pry into his personal life. But that is one unattractive woman.
Ibuki,
Yes.
let us be.
Yes, boss. He's not picky.
Because that's Legoshi in a dress. I'd go as far as to say that this show could have actually been a good watch if it wasn't for this piece of shit. And before you Beastars fans get upset, I'd just like to remind you that there are many other rabbit women to get hard over. But it's not only Haru's fault that this show is so bad, it's also at the fault of I feel like the romance in this show can easily be summed up with only one word. Shit. But if I were to use more than one word, then I would say it's horseshit horrible. I feel like I'd find a more realistic romance between a curious 12-year-old boy and the hub. In simple terms, this romance is completely and utterly garbage. And not because it's a romance between a wolf and a bunny rabbit, but mainly because it's a romance between two people who live in two completely different worlds. They have no chemistry and their dynamic isn't interesting at all. Why does Legoshi like Haru so much? Literally fucking why. She doesn't show any interest in him, and a matter of fact, when he confessed to her, she actively avoided him. So not only is she a whore, she's also a terrible person. Not to mention that they are complete polar opposites. They have absolutely nothing in common. Oh, and did I forget to mention that they are also two completely different species? Seeing people genuinely ship these two upsets my stomach, and I feel physically ill looking at shit like this. There's honestly no reason for Legoshi to be romantically interested in her so much that he thinks he'll marry her. She's not compelling or interesting or funny or smart. She has no qualities that would even benefit Legoshi. And to be honest, it doesn't even seem like she's that interested in Legoshi in particular. It seems like she acts like this with pretty much every guy. Yet I'm supposed to believe that what they have is so sacred and so special. Yeah, Beastars, I'm not buying it. I mean, let's take a look at another show for example, with Naruto. Hinata fell in love with Naruto because of his ideals and his ideology and what he stands for and who he is as a person. Same with Boa Hancock and Orihime, or even Momoe with Kuroko. Even in its own show, Judo falls in love with Legoshi because he stood up for her when nobody else would. But why did Haru fall in love with Legoshi? I don't know, because the plot decides it. I have no issue with people having crushes on each other without a distinctive reason. You don't always need a justification to have feelings for someone because sometimes it just happens. But then again, this level of obsession and obligation for a high school crush is kind of disturbing. And she hasn't done anything to make Legoshi fall head over heels for her like this. And the worst part about this is they substituted a perfectly good storyline for this shit. And I know the message is trying to portray that no matter what society wants of you, you should chase your dreams no matter the cost. Yeah, that's nice and all, but I can't help but feel like there would have been better ways to go about this. Like, I don't know, maybe carnivores and herbivores, and what you want to do versus what you should do. I feel like this show intends to spread good messages, but to the average viewer who isn't invested in the series, it feels like a play on a forbidden romance. I don't know about any of you guys, but to me it comes across as a certain type of philia that rhymes with Edo. This show isn't bad at heart. I feel like season 2 is the direction this show should have gone down. It was actually really fucking good. The murder mystery mixed with the gang lions, that was actually really interesting. It's a good watch when there isn't any romance involved. I feel like Louis is probably the most interesting character in the show, but considering the cast is full of people like these, that's not really much of a hard feat to come by. He's my favorite character in the series by far, but sometimes he can be a little edgy for no reason and he just looks like a furry Sasuke. But overall, he actually is a really good character, and there are many other great characters who just get overshadowed by this shit. And if you have any self-respect for yourself, then please, for the love of God, do not get involved with this fucking fan base. Trust me, you'll thank me for the warning. There's so much more that I could have gone over in this video, but I feel like it's way better if you experience this for yourself. The show is a questionable one, but an interesting questionable one to say the least. I don't want to spoil any major plot points for those of you who are actually gonna watch it, but all I'm gonna say is the hell you go through watching season 1 is worth it for the satisfaction you get in season 2. So in conclusion, is Beastars bad? Yes, I wouldn't go as far as to say that this is a good anime writing wise, but it's far from boring. So if you have nothing else to watch and this show seems interesting, then I would suggest that you watch it. But with all that said, I know you guys are getting tired of my voice and I don't want to have to edit this any more than I need to. If you enjoyed this video, then leave a like, and if you didn't enjoy it, then please feel free to degrade me in the comments. But until next time, make sure to drink your water and get enough sleep at night. Okay, goodbye.